Hello guys and welcome back to building the Beekse Bergen, and today we are going to be working on the Kongo square area. So I've tried to start this episode a bunch of times already. I've tried making a time lapse, I've tried showing how this thing is built, but nothing really worked out in my favor. So I thought I would just try once more and jump in and show you guys around the Kongo restaurant, or at least what we have of it so far. I think the first thing that would be interesting to actually have a look at is this over here, my reference sheet from the top down perspective of this place. I actually kind of measured out all of the circles of this restaurant. So if you've got a roof in the middle, then a pointed roof over here, some circles for that, and then this kind of outside-ish glass roof area. So I took all of those circles and I just placed them somewhere else where I could analyze them a little bit more easily over here, and it actually ended up fitting exactly in 4 grid pieces. So I was able to take that to our game here and measure that out once again, and that's when I could start kind of experimenting with the building itself. So I tried various different ways of doing the roof, and I eventually put it in place with the complete measurements done, and that's when I could start building. So I, for example, made this little section, and using the mud pillar technique I spread it across over here, and I could get started on the restaurant itself. I decided to go with this roof, but this is still subject to change because I'm not really happy with it quite yet, because there's a lot of this sort of stuff. But I'm afraid that we'll either have to deal with things like this, or we're not going to have a thatched roof at all, and I do really want to have that thatched roof. So anyway, these walls might be getting your attention a little. They are kind of insane, I'm not gonna lie. In the case, like, there's still a lot to clean up. You can already see a lot of this stuff. So yeah, what do we have over here? You can actually, when we get close to it, see that these are not arch shapes, because these are actually the smallest arch shapes that the game has to offer, and they were too big for me to be able to get these areas in between the window. So what I ended up having to do is use gutter pieces, and I've got these long gutter pieces for kind of the white background, and then these gutter pieces which are just rotated ever so slightly to get these angles right, and that gives this lovely little pattern over here. And what's pretty interesting as well is over here you can see we use the metal rod of the Australia pack, and I picked the curved ones because they're a lot shorter, so they hide in the wall a little bit better. Then these little sawtooth patterns you can see are made out of wood. They're made of these little pieces, and why I chose those over just using maybe arch shapes or other sort of pieces is because, well, the arch shapes were too big, so they would either have too big of a sawtooth pattern in here, or they would stick out of the top of this thing, and I didn't want that. So yeah, this seemed to me like the kind of best solution, sadly, because this was a lot of work to put into place. What made it especially difficult to deal with, if we look on the opposite side over here where I'm not completely finished, you can see the way I did the patterns on these walls that don't need to use the gutter pieces is that I actually just used arch shapes and triangles. The problem with that is that these are at separate layers, so it might be very flat, but there is a slight difference in height between them. So if you look over here, you can see that one of these pieces actually kind of starts to overflow and not look as good anymore. So to solve that, I have to use a bunch of other planks and stuff like that to hide that. All in all, this is a lot of work, but the result speaks for itself, I hope. I am insanely happy with how this is starting to look. So I'm just going to continue working on that and get this side of the building done as well. Alright, welcome to the back of the building, where I have made a little bit of a realization. I've done something kind of stupid. I was working on these windows and there weren't any glass pieces that really fit them perfectly. And then it kind of hit me. I can use glass barriers. These glass pieces have completely spoiled me, and I completely forgot that that was actually a thing you can do. So that's actually what I did over here. These are glass barriers. Oh, these are glass barriers inside of the wall, and yeah, these windows are much slimmer. I'm not sure if they're actually also more transparent or not. I kind of feel like they are, but I think that might just be my mind playing tricks on me. But something that is really cool, speaking of transparency, is that over here I have used the one-sided glass to kind of give this dark tinted glass, and then behind here are some art shapes that kind of give these cool patterns, kind of bring those to life. So that looks pretty neat. And the reason that is because over here is going to be shelves of the gift shop, so that window doesn't actually show anything. Oh, I gotta fix some stuff. But yeah, overall the building is starting to get into somewhat of a complete shape. This is going to be the gift shop, as I kind of just mentioned. It's gonna be a little bit crammed. It's gonna be difficult to fit a lot of stuff in here, but I'm sure it'll look cool in the end. One of the biggest kind of sad moments was the roof. To get the shape right, I had to use a lot of different pieces. I actually copied this roof over from a different place, but because I had to do that, the ceiling got pretty messy, so I had to kind of fill up the ceiling with fetch like this, like you can kind of see over here, because I can actually show you what the ceiling otherwise looks like. Over here I had the safari restaurant, which still needs a lot of work done. This is what the roof is like, and it's just such a mess, which is a shame, because if you would have just the cone piece, that would have looked a lot cooler, but there's just no way to get that cone to actually be an actual cone. So yeah, in that case I chose for the outside aesthetic over the inside aesthetic, so gotta compromise a little bit. Alright, so pretty big jump in progress here. Basically last week I was going away for the weekend and I was trying to get an episode out before then, but I just wasn't happy with it, so I didn't release it and I kept building, and now I have a bunch of stuff to show you, even though I'm still not going to end off the episode after this. But let's quickly go around the reptile house and we get some unfinished stuff, so don't look at that. But over here we have something I've been working off in between episodes actually, that I forgot to show you guys. This is the queue for the boat on this side of the park, so the boat kind of ferries between the two sides of the park. And yeah, this is one of the places you can get on, and this is the weirdest queue ever. Like I queued up for it last time I was at the zoo, and so I could draw out how the queue goes, because I just couldn't figure it out from the pictures I made, and I still don't get it. But I mean it's correct now mostly. So I have to add some of these ropes and stuff, but yeah. Basically what they do is they have like a big wooden block that they push around to kind of block off the queues. So they would put it diagonally over here if they want people to queue up this way. They would put it over here if they want people to queue up that way, and over here if they want people to queue into here. So when I was at the zoo the other day, it was standing over here, kind of leading people through here, and you would queue up over here until you were allowed inside. But what's weird about the way that they set up the queue that way is that you've got one option, which is that one I just showed you. You've got another option, which is this snaky path, and you've got the shortest option over here. But none of these options, like each of them has their own queue, and they don't share any of these paths really. Like the snaky path shares this little stretch with the path that goes around, if you don't open up this chain, that is. And I think that's really weird, because if you compare it to the other dog, it's way more logical, where you would just have the snaky path, and then these chains can just create shortcuts in that path, and that makes sense. But yeah, this other dog does not make sense to me. But yeah, as we come around, we get to one area that actually needs changing, because last time I was at the zoo, I saw that this is way different than what I have it at right now. But that is to be done later. We get up to the restaurant area, and where should we go first? To the restaurant or the gift shop? I suppose we'll do the gift shop first, because it's not finished. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. Here I've been doing some crazy stuff, and this is actually all done before I left last weekend. We have what are meant to be 3D posters that are just incredibly detailed. I mean, they are red pandas, so I had to give it my all. And the elephants weren't that hard, so yeah, these are great. I am absolutely in love with these. Then over here we have just a bunch of the gift shop items. You probably know them. I've got them back here, like Eben's or Zwed, his gift shop items, and then the plushies that were based on those by Keyboard Keeper. I've also used some t-shirts by another person. I don't know the links. The links to all the workshop items I use are always in the description. But yeah, there's also a bunch of stuff I have made myself, like these little magnets over here, these little magnetic kind of plushy monkey thingies, or these tails, which look pretty cool. But yeah, there's actually a couple of stuff I need to change here. Oh, hello there. There's a couple of stuff I need to change here from my last visit. I noticed that this beam, I had it going straight, but it actually goes diagonally over here. And this countertop has a bit of a different shape, so I'm still gonna change that. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in here, and the rest still needs to be done. So let's actually go to the real big ticket though, and that is the Kongo restaurant. And you can already see just detail and yeah, let's just take that in, because there is a lot to see. Oh crap, I forgot to put a door there. Okay, that is going on the list. But yeah, just take it in. We're gonna be a guest for a moment here, and we are going to go into here, and over here this sign normally says take your plate. You can get a plate here, and you can just put that on the railing thing and just ask the employees, who are both blinking. Interesting. You can ask the employees for any dish that is on the menu. I always go for the chicken sandwich, which is pretty delicious. But yeah, I didn't put too much effort into the kitchen itself. I kind of ran out of steam for that one. But the countertop is just riddled with details. We got little things where they can get the food out of. We've got these little stovepots, which were inspired by Eben, his stoves in the Koali kitchen. And I actually asked him on Discord, like, what pieces did you use for that? I ended up having to use some different pieces because I had to make them a bit smaller. But yeah, it's just ended up so great. I'm super happy with it. We got this little orange juice dispenser over here. Over here, this little dessert cooler thing, which, if you're wondering how I got this thing to look like this with the glass, it's barriers. Yep, I used a bunch of barriers. Yeah, I pulled several late nights in this place. We've got some coffee machines, so you would put the beans in the top over here and you could make coffee. There's some things where you can get tea. There is these vending machines that I made, which the reason they look like this, I got the kind of fake bottles, is because I intended to put a vending machine inside here and then have the fake bottles like this, so it looks like there is stuff inside. And too bad the vending machine kind of, it would have to be way to the front like this, you know, and I just didn't want to give up that much space. So instead I made this one, which is kind of frozen up a bit, and this one does have a vending machine inside, so that people will actually be able to buy drinks in here. I also forgot to mention there is a vending machine behind this panel over here, so people will actually walk up to here and get some chief beef. And I hope they will actually walk around like this. If only we had one-way pathing, we could actually do that. But yeah, then over here you get to the register. This register is actually based on the ones at the zoo, and I actually had one picture in the gift shop where I could see the interface, so I copied all of that over as well, and yeah, tried to replicate that as much as possible, which is really awesome and such an unnecessary detail. But yeah, over here is another place you can get a plate. I guess if you're coming from this side, it is possible. Right now with the COVID situation, of course, it's not. You can't even sit in the dining area, which, oh yeah, over here is the dining area. We've got some tables. Normally there's also, I have made them, wait, I've got them back here. There's also like single tables that kind of are next to these ones, so you have like 3 chairs, but we do not have the space for that, so I've just kind of kept it at this. Oh yeah, what's also really cool is these lobster claws are actually the same plants that they have in real life at the zoo, so that's why I chose those, even though they are a little bit big. But yeah, they look really cool, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, what else is there to say about this? Oh yeah, the mural in real life has like kind of these like silhouettes of trees and stuff like that drawn onto them with the sunset, but I didn't feel like I had the mental capacity to make all of those trees, so I just used these animals, which look really cool as well. I kind of did the same thing over here. Normally there is murals of African ladies kind of carrying jars above their heads, you know, but I couldn't be bothered, so yeah, I just replaced those with animals as well. It looks really nice. Now these walls, actually at first they were made out of the glass pieces, but I actually replaced those with, you guessed it, the barriers as well. They just look so much better because of how thin you can get it now. Yeah, it's awesome. And what I've also been able to do because of the barriers is have a couple of these windows be open, because these windows actually slide open. And since I think I've mentioned a couple of times, this zoo is kind of intended to be a recreation of the zoo at a hot summer's day, so naturally some people would have opened the windows while they were dining here. So yeah, that's why I did that. And yeah, you can do that because of how you can manipulate barriers to be so small. So we actually do have all the glass bits covered, and then this bit isn't, which is really awesome. So yeah, I did actually put pathing in here. Of course, people will probably end up kind of clipping through a bunch. They actually are doing pretty well. Oh no, there they go. Yeah, that is inevitable. Oh, that is a shame though. But yeah, it looks like these people are thirsty, if the game will stop freezing. So yeah, they are actually interacting with the vending machine, and they're gonna be taking out a drink probably. Let's see. Yeah, there they go. They got a drink. Oh, and they're actually gonna walk around and maybe get some food as well. Will they? Yes. Oh, they're hungry and thirsty. That is so cool. The fact that they actually walk around this place. That has me hoping that the people will actually use this. Of course, they can't use the seating area. I definitely chose aesthetics over functionality there. Yeah, there would have been no way. Alright, so they got their hamburgers. Are they also gonna visit the gift shop? They are! That is amazing. Yeah, I guess they will actually become trapped once they're done here. Oh, no, they didn't want to visit the gift shop? Why did you go here? What? Oh no, don't... Oh, that is... big sad that they actually skipped through the wall there. Really hope they wouldn't do that. Oh, they're going back for drinks. I guess they're thirsty again. Alright guys, we are about to finish up over here. Yeah, we are actually done, believe it or not. So let's take one final walk around. We can actually see some people leave the gift shop, but we're gonna check out the restaurant one more time just real quick, because there is actually a few new things for you to see. Oh, there also seems to be a party going on in the gift shop. I'll see if I can fix that later, but for now, welcome to the restaurant. And it looks like someone... No, they're just leaving. Okay. I was hoping they were actually going to use the restaurant, but turns out that they don't want to. But there's actually one new thing over here, which is these trash cans. Yeah, I noticed that the guests that we had in here started to litter, and I realized that, yeah, we actually do really need a trash can in here, and they have them, and they look like this, so that's really cool. Oh, we also have some people. Oh, they seem to have donuts. Oh, so they've been on the other side of the building. Yeah, you can actually leave through the gift shop, of course, that's possible, but I think they might be getting themselves a drink. Okay, they are not. Yeah, that is just a thing that we have to live with. I cannot fix that stuff. I could maybe try to get a trash can in the coffee machine. I think that would fit actually, so I might try that. But yeah, we got this door that I said I would make. It does look like we have something sticking through the wall. I might try to fix that. I did actually notice that when I was building the gift shop. But yeah, we have ourselves this nice little door, and it goes actually to a room. You can see a room, but there actually is nothing here. It's just an illusion. But I thought that was pretty clever, because yeah, you would see through here because it does have a window. So I did want to have something there, but the kitchen isn't 100% accurate in the layout, just because I couldn't be bothered getting all of that stuff to work, because it's very tight spaces, and yeah, no. So yeah, that is the restaurant. I don't think I changed anything else about it, so let's actually go through here one last time and change the time of day, because this is one of the first buildings in the zoo where I have actually really done my best to have proper lighting installed. So we've got this nice red glow at the top, and yeah, oh hey, look, someone else is getting a drink. Yeah, we got this nice glow at the top, and then all these spotlights creating some awesome light, and there's still a party in the gift shop. We'll fix that at some point. But yeah, going through here, let's turn the sun back on. So yeah, going through here, we end up at the back side, and there isn't a whole lot to see here until we come around the corner, and we've got the entrance to the gift shop. This is the Giraffe shop, and yeah, this is a custom sign because the game doesn't have any good signs that don't glow in the dark or whatever, so I had to do a custom font myself. But yeah, this is the Giraffe shop, and now it is 100% finished. I say that, and I'm probably still gonna find stuff that aren't finished, but oh yeah, there is a lot to take in here. A lot of custom gift shop items that I've made myself, as well as a couple that were by other people, like the plushies by Keyboard Keeper. But yeah, we've got this awesome little thing in the middle here that holds a bunch of plushies. I didn't fill in everything because I don't have enough variety in plushies, so I kind of thought like you can fill in the gaps with your imagination a bit. I might add to it still, but I think it's good enough, and it looks pretty cool. We've got these snow globes on top. That's what they're supposed to be, in case you were wondering. This awesome pillar decorated with like these sacks and moss and stuff like that. They actually had exactly the right type of plants, and they were nice and small, so we could actually incorporate them in here, which is amazing. Then we've got all sorts of things on the shelves, like more snow globes, cups, little smaller plushies of chimpanzees and all sorts of other stuff. I've made these little African face statue things. I've made my own custom drums. You can actually see them better over here. They're a lot smaller than the drums that we have in game, so they actually fit in here a lot better. And yeah, then there's this vomit of bright colors that is there in the zoo, so whatever. This is supposed to be a giraffe pattern, but we don't have a giraffe pattern, so I used a leopard pattern and colored it like a giraffe. I think it looks really, really cool. So yeah, that is this side of the gift shop. There isn't really much else to show you other than the fact that this was a ton of work. Oh, it looks like I have to clean. See, there's always something. I didn't check the inside when I put those patterns in. I have to make those a lot flatter. But yeah, and then for this gift shop, I don't think I mentioned there is actually a gift shop in here, and that's where all these people are currently getting stuck on. So I'm gonna see if I can fix that, because it's pretty bad. This is not the game's fault. This is definitely my fault. Oh god, yeah. This is just the way I set up the shop. It's causing them to bug out. But yeah, and what's really cool as well is people are actually coming over here, probably after visiting the reptile house and the tigers. They are actually headed to this place to view or to interact with the shop, which is amazing. And so yeah, once we actually finish the entire Kongo Square, I think this will definitely be a place where a lot of guests will actually come and hang out, which is awesome stuff. But yeah, for now, that is going to be it from me. That's the end of this episode. In the next episode, we'll probably continue working on the Kongo Square. I also kind of want to start working on the giraffe field, because that is currently the last place that you encounter along the walking trail that is unfinished if you download the zoo. So the giraffe stall and kind of this area, I really kind of want to start tackling. So yeah, it's one or the other. And on streams, there's still plenty to do. I have a very long to-do list of stuff. So if you ever want to catch me live, I make pretty cool stuff, like these vending machines. And yeah, that is definitely gonna be it. I hope to see you again, and goodbye. Alright, just a little bonus thing before we get into the screenshot, because I've been working on fixing all the guests getting stuck and stuff like that. I fixed the gift shop one that we saw by moving the gift shop to the left, so I didn't really have to change anything about the pathing here, which is nice because it's a mess. I can actually show you. There is one path over here for the guests, a 2-meter path, and then this small bit of 2-meter path so that this vendor will stand here and not walk away. So yeah, that is it's a mess. And we have something very similar over here, but then the 2-meter path for the guests actually goes in a circle around, and there's a small bit of path over here for the vendor to stand on. I've changed this around because mechanics would get stuck over here after fixing or inspecting this vending machine over here. So I had to make some changes so that they don't get stuck anymore, or we'll have a group up of mechanics, which we also don't want. And I've also figured out why people walk through the coffee machine. It is because of the vending machine over here. There isn't even a path here, and I've put in the trash cans, but the people just go from this path, snap to the vending machine, and just go. And they have no regards for the collision over here with the trash cans, or the fact that there isn't even a path. And yeah, they also view the education boards I've set up, but they do it from over here, and they consistently do that. So that's also a bummer, because Like, it's a bummer that the education signs actually work, but the people choose to view them only from over here inside the coffee machine. So I don't know, I want to keep the coffee machine, but maybe it's better if we leave it out. It's a bummer. Alright, so normally I would let the music run and show you my little presentation slideshow, but this time I thought I would talk over it a little bit, because there are a couple of things I want to touch on. So starting off with the exterior, I mean, this is just amazing. That's just the money shot right there. I'm so happy with how this area turned out, and I can't wait to continue working on it on the rest of the square. Over here we have the Giraf Shop sign that we had to do custom. Probably turned out for the better anyway, because now it's a lot more accurate. Over here on the walls you can see a bunch of murals. We don't actually have those in the recreation itself. I thought these walls were already so much work with all the patterns and stuff like that, that I didn't feel like doing those murals as well. We might do them in the future. But moving to the interior, you can see there's actually 2 registers, and in our recreation we only have 1. And like that, there's a couple of spaces where I've left out certain things just for space reasons. We didn't have the space to make all of those things accurately. Here we have our lovely coffee machines that worked out quite well. Really happy with those. But what's also important about these pictures is that like 99% of my pictures of the restaurant were taken during the corona measurements. So things have been moved around, areas of the restaurant have been blocked off. I actually only had like 1 or 2 pictures of the restaurant before corona, so that's all I had to go off of when kind of placing everything. So it's probably not entirely accurate. This is actually one of those pictures. This is one of the only ones that were before corona, so I really tried to recreate that one as well as I could. But yeah, moving on to the gift shop. What's important about this is that here there are also a lot of kind of inconsistencies between the pictures and the recreation, because it's a gift shop. They're gonna run out of stock and they're gonna get new items, so it's constantly changing. Like sometimes a place might be filled with keychains and a month later they put mugs there. I'm not gonna keep updating the gift shop to that extent, so that's why it's not always gonna be accurate, but I mean, it looks amazing, so I think that's justified. So here we're gonna have a nice panorama shot of the center of the gift shop, which is the circular bit, and you can see the drums and all sorts of things all in place. And we have a look at the counter where we have our little man, and yeah, tons of stuff to see. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. So I'm gonna finish off here. You're gonna get a bit more of that lovely music, and then 2 very short cinematics. They're not very that special, but after that you get the end credits scene. So once again, thanks for watching. I promise this is the last time I'm gonna say it for this episode, and I hope to see you again very soon. Goodbye.
This one is